So that's what we're going to talk about today, how to create a cover song that people actually want to listen to, that people will actually be impressed by. Now, if you're wondering, I don't actually want to play this for anyone and I don't care if anyone listens to it, then that's great. These tips are still going to help you create a cover song that you yourself can be satisfied with. The song choice is quite important for a number of different reasons. Essentially, what we were talking about before about a good cover being similar but having some points of difference. The best way to set yourself up for that point of difference is in your song choice. You can choose a song that the original that most people know, that's popular, that you're going to be doing a cover of, that original arrangement is in essence straight away different to what your arrangement is going to be. This is a technique that I use for choosing songs often because I think it just makes things easy straight off the bat. So what I'm talking about is I'm a woman who sings in an alto range and I play the piano. So if I want to have a point of difference and make things easier on myself, the first thing I'm going to do is choose a song that is perhaps traditionally sung by a male, with a low voice, and maybe it plays guitar or something like that. So then straight off the bat, my arrangement is going to be unique to the original without me having to really try very hard. Avoid mimicry. Don't try to play it exactly. As we found in the poll of popular choice on my Facebook group, you'll only invite direct comparison when you try to do an exact replica. And I want to disclaimer this in saying that it's a wonderful challenge to play something exactly. There is a certain feeling of achievement from doing something like that, but that's less of a cover song and more of a just simply you learning the song, and that requires you finding the sheet music for the song so you can learn it exactly, or perhaps making your own transcription if you can learn by ear. But that's not, we wouldn't call that a cover. That's just a replication, right? That's what I would do. If I hear a cover and it's too similar to the original, I just think, it's just not as good as the original. And you're never going to be as good as the original. Never, never, never. Not even if you're a better musician than the original artist. You know why? Is because people have sentimental attachments to original recordings. So if you try to do the same thing in the same way, but just you, then people are always, for sentimental reasons, going to prefer the original, even if you arguably performed it better. The next point is to play to your strengths and in your own mastered style. So if you have a mastered style in a genre that you specialize playing in, then you would do your version of that song in that style. If you haven't yet developed your own signature style on the piano, then this could mean simply just choosing the song to be in a key that's for a comfortable range in your voice. It could mean making an arrangement that is maybe a little bit of a challenge, but not so much of a challenge that you never finish it and you can never master it. You want it to be within your range of ability so that you can create a recording or a performance that is convincing. So convincing doesn't necessarily mean incredible or just wow factor. Convincing, you don't have to impress everyone with how you are the best pianist in the world, or it's a better technical cover than anyone's ever seen. No, people aren't looking for that. Being convincing is just being able to play what you are playing with full conviction. Our next point is to bring something new. Now this could be anything, as I said. It could be in the mere fact that you are singing with a male voice as opposed to a female voice, or you're playing piano instead of guitar, or it could be more stylistic. You could strip back the arrangement of the song. It could be a busier arrangement that you're going to make simple. It could be the other way around. It could be a simple recording in the original and you're going to add more flourishes to it. It could be a genre choice. So if the original, as Les said, jazz cover would be good. If the original is a folk song or a rock song or a pop song and you're going to make a jazz interpretation of that, that's a really great way to add a point of difference. Even just your delivery, it could be traditionally a quiet samba song, but you might feel like the song could send a similar message but in a more angry tone, and therefore you might play more heavily on the piano and sing with more gusto. Sometimes people can do cover songs and they put in their points of difference and they take it so far that it strays so far from the original that, as I mentioned, the one that no one voted for in the poll that I did was that it's completely different to the original and virtually unrecognizable, right? But with a couple of, maybe some melody points that make it recognizable as that song. But when you stray so far from the original that there's no respect in it for the original songwriter, that is something we really want to make sure that we are not going into, because you're gonna, disrupt the fans. Obviously, anyone that's a fan of the original is not necessarily going to like your version, and so then that becomes like what's the point in covering the song, right? And when I do a cover song that I might perform live or do or release on a YouTube video or something like that, I'm thinking about, okay, straight up, I want fans of this artist to like my cover version. There are certain things that I think that you shouldn't change. For instance, the lyrics. Generally, I don't believe that you should change lyrics unless, it's a tweak of a perspective, perhaps. Maybe you change the song from I to you, and sometimes that can be a really poignant way of interpreting the song yourself. So you're changing the perspective of who's singing the song. You can change it from, singular to plural. Little differences like that in lyrics, I think, can be interesting. But literally changing, the story of the song, you're taking it away from the original story. If you can find something in the lyrics that are meaningful to you, or if there's no lyrics in the song, if you can draw a story from or a feeling or a memory that the music, the way it tells the story instrumentally signifies for you, then you're putting meaning into that and you're making a connection with that song. And you get entertainers who connect with the audience, and then you get artists, and they're not mutually exclusive, but the artistry is connecting with the song, and more often than not, if you can connect with the song, then the audience will connect with you. So you're sort of killing two birds with one stone. So finding a meaningful connection with the song that you're covering is super important. In fact, I've said this last so that it's the point that lingers, but it should probably be the first point, right? Is to choose a song that you are able to find a connection with, so that that meaningfulness and passion comes across in your performance is probably the most important thing. Aretha Franklin's cover song of Respect, which was originally by Otis Redding. Her song has become, the seminal version. And for an incredible artist like Aretha, she was able to do that, essentially make her song the new well-known song. In fact, so much that, people probably don't even realize that Otis Redding wrote it and originally performed it. Another example of this is Johnny Cash's version of Hurt. Beautiful cover, and he was covering, obviously the original was by Nine Inch Nails. Very, very different genres there. So we're going from Nine Inch Nails, who were like industrial sort of, they're like electronic-ish, and to Johnny Cash doing it in a country genre. But what you'll notice with that cover song, and if you haven't heard it, go listen to it, even though the genre and the delivery is completely different, Cash has been able to really hook into the emotion behind the words that Trent Reznor wrote. Now, if you like what we talked about today, you're inspired to write a cover song, then you should totally come to my coaching. We are going to be learning, I'm going to be going through some techniques about how to actually make a cover song. So today we've covered the things that make a good cover song that we want to make sure that we're thinking about. And in this coaching, I'm going to be going through some processes and techniques to actually make your own piano cover version of a song. I'm really excited about this. It's something I'm super passionate about. That's the link there if you want to join the Creative Pianist membership. Please do. There's so much in there. You get access to all of my courses, which are, self-study. So you get to do that in your own time. Play it like you mean it. 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 And I'll see you next time.